Hello, everyone, and once again, welcome to today's webinar. It's about automate generation of wills, trusts, POAs, and estate planning documents using Zoho Writer. So it is wonderful to have you all here for today's webinar. And if you work in an estate planning firm, a legal advisory practice, or support attorneys who prepare client documentation, you already know how crucial accuracy, consistency, and speed are in this field. So in today's session, we have designed it to show you how Zoho Writer can simplify your end-to-end document workflows, right from client intake to generating legal compliant with the estate planning documents. So joining me today is Sam, who's the co-host for this webinar, who will walk you through the live demos and show how these workflows operate in real-world estate planning scenarios. And together, we also have Vadivel, who will be answering the Q&A tabs. So if you have any questions, feel free to raise them, and we have our product expert, Vadivel, who will be answering them. And today, the live demo will be given by our product expert, Samuel. So we'll see how your firm can reduce manual effort, minimize errors, improve compliance tracking, and deliver a seamless client experience. So before we get it started, a quick check. We host webinars on the second Thursday of every month, so feel to join us for upcoming sessions as well. A recording of today's webinar will be shared with all the registered participants once it is available. If you have any questions, as I mentioned earlier, at any point of time during the session, please post them in the Q&A pan, and the product expert, Vadivel, will respond during the webinar, and during the dedicated Q&A segment at the end, we'll also try to answer them in live. So with that being said, let's get it started. So now let's take a look at what we'll be exploring in today's session. We'll begin with an overview of the different documents that estate planning firms handle every day and how they fit into the broader workflow. From there, we'll move into the very first step of any estate planning engagement, which is client intake and onboarding. You will see how firms can collect detailed client information digitally and use it as the foundation for everything that follows. Next, we will look at how this collected data can be used to automatically generate core estate planning documents such as wills, trusts, and power of attorneys. This is where document automation really starts to reduce manual drafting efforts and ensures consistency across all templates. And finally, we'll then explore how legal disclosure can be added intelligently by pulling specific pages from a reference PDF. This is especially useful for firms that work across multiple jurisdictions where disclosures can vary based on client type or location.
So what do you say?
Yes, Sini, you're absolutely right. And thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. We'll then talk about how documents move through review and approval workflows within the firm. You'll see how attorneys collaborate with using comments and track changes in Zoho Writer. You'll also see how final approvals can be routed to partners through automated workflows. After that, we'll move into invoice generation. We'll show how service-related data from a sheet can be merged instantly into a polished invoice. The invoice will be ready to send to the clients. You'll also see how formulas, dynamic dates, and amount in words, such fields help firms create accurate billing documents. We'll also explain the key benefits of using Zoho Writer in estate planning firms. And these benefits include faster drafting, automated disclosures, and secure compliance workflows. Finally, we'll close with a look at upcoming Zoho Writer features. These upcoming features are designed to improve payments, signing, and PDF editing capabilities. So with no further delay, let's see what's the overview of documentation in estate planning. Now we have seen the overall flow of today's session. Estate planning relies on several foundational legal documents. The last will and testament explains how a person's asset should be distributed after they pass away. Trust documents help clients protect and manage their assets during their lifetime and after. Financial and medical powers of attorney allow someone to make financial or healthcare decisions on their client's behalf. Healthcare directives record the client's medical wishes. Guardianship designation specifies who should take care of minor children or dependents. Firms also prepare beneficiary designation forms for accounts and insurance policies. They use client intake questionnaires to gather key information. They include legal disclosures to ensure compliance with regional and federal laws. These documents form the foundation of every estate planning engagement. Today we'll see how each of them can be streamlined using Zoho Writer.
Great, thank you so much for that, Sam. So now that we have seen the kind of documents estate planning firms handle every day, so let's start with where everything truly begins, the client intake process. So before attorneys can draft a will, a trust, or any other estate documents, they need a clear and a structured information from the clients. So this includes details about family members, assets, liabilities, guardianship preferences, medical wishes, and much more. So with Zoho Writer, firms can create a clean, interactive intake form right inside the editor, which allows clients to fill out all their details online, removing paperwork and manual data entry. So Sam, Writer also supports converting existing PDF intake packets into fillable forms.
Absolutely, Sini. Writer is actually one of the easiest tools for transforming a traditional PDF intake into a modern, fillable online form. Instead of manually collecting handwritten forms or uploading scanned copies, firms can convert their existing PDF into an interactive form within Zoho Writer. Clients can then fill out their details online at their convenience. Their responses flow directly into a connected sheet, so attorneys don't waste time reorganizing data or retyping anything before drafting the will, trust, or power of attorney.
Perfect, Sam. So let's walk through a typical scenario here. So an estate planning firm shares this intake form with a new client, either through a secure link or by embedding it on their website. So now the client fills in all the required details online, let's say like family information, asset list, beneficiary preferences, and guardianship wishes, everything. So once this is submitted, all the responses automatically flow into a connected sheet, which means attorneys don't have to sort through handwritten forms or emails. So the data is instantly structured, accurate, and ready to be used for generating estate planning documents like wills, trusts, or POAs. So Sam, can Writer handle this entire workflow?
Yes, it does. And that's exactly what makes this powerful for estate planning firms. The form collects the data, the sheet stores it, and the same data becomes the foundation for every downstream document. Let me show a quick demo on how the form is built and how the responses flow into the sheet in real time. So this is the page of Writer. So from here, we'll be able to create the fillable template. So the fillable template is the one which we are going to use for collecting the data. Here you can see we have two options. One is create from scratch, and if you have an existing PDF, you can directly use create over PDF, and you can directly upload the PDF by using the upload button. So once it is uploaded, the Writer will sense all the fields and the form will get generated. So in our case, I have created the fillable template from scratch, and I have used all the fields available in the fillable template. So you can see this is a fillable template. After adding all the values, we have the option to include the fields. You can see date field, page number field, and once you go to this fillable field option, you can see single line text, multi-line text, and so on. So depending upon your requirement, you can include the fields. Say for example, here we can see there is a gender option. I have used a drop-down field here, which includes the list of options. You can also rename the label to have an easy identification of each and every field. And for residential address, I have included multi-line text field. And for marital status, I have used radio button. And one important field here we have used is the subform table. So when the data is entered, you may expect multiple values. So in this case, you can see family and dependent details. So it includes not a single value, you will get multiple data, for example, father, son, spouse, sister, brother, and so on. So for that, we have used the subform table. When a user tries to fill this form, this is how it will look. So this is a sample template. So when a user hover over the option, he'll get an option to add details. So by this way, the subform table used in the fillable template, it will allow the user to enter multiple data for a specific value. And adding to that, I have also included if condition. Let me show it. So here you can see I have included if condition for a particular value. So if they have any existing will, they can upload the data. So here I have used upload field. This is how it will look like. So when the user clicks this yes button, he'll get the option to upload the copies. So by this way, user will get interactive page where they can enter the values, and it will give you the value exactly where you wish to have. So in my case, all the entries will get collected in Zoho sheet, and this is the output document of the Zoho sheet. So the data entered by the user will get collected over here. By using this base data, we are going to do the next step of creating the will. So this is how the fillable template will work. And after that, once you create all this template, either you can share the fillable template using share to fill option and enter the email address of the client. The form will get delivered to the user via mail, and upon clicking the link, he'll be able to fill the form. Or else you can click this publish and embed link. You can create a embed code and you can use it in your web page. So this is a small glimpse about fillable template. If you need any further assistance, we'll share the help article in the chat box. You can refer it and you can reach us anytime. And shall we move on to the next session, C?
Yes, Sam, that was a very smooth demo, and thank you so much for showing us how this fillable template can be created, either from scratch or using an existing PDF. So now that we have seen the intake data is captured, so let's look at what happens next. The real power of automation begins when this information flows directly into the core estate planning documents themselves. So now, once the intake information is collected, attorneys typically prepare a range of documents like wills, trusts, and powers of attorney. Traditionally, this can take a lot of time because the same client details need to be typed into multiple documents manually. So with Zoho Writer, this entire drafting process becomes automated. The client data is stored in a sheet or captured as we saw in the demo, and it gets populated. And in many firms, when a new client record is added, the drafting team jumps in to create the first version of the will. But Sam, is it possible for Writer to generate these legal documents automatically the moment a new entry appears in the sheet?
Absolutely, Sini. Using custom function, Writer can pick up each row added to the sheet and initiate merge. If required, you can also initiate the merge manually by connecting the sheet as data source so that the client's details get into the corresponding template and instantly generate a personalized will, trust, or POA. The final document can be saved automatically into OneDrive as a PDF, and if needed, it can be routed directly for e-signature through Adobe Sign or DocuSign. So the entire workflow from intake to the first draft can run without any manual intervention, and that is what we are going to do it now. With no further delay, let me show a quick demo about it. So now we have the data collected. So we have the data in the Zoho sheet, which needs to be fetched for merging. So in Writer, we also have the additional automation apart from fillable template, which is the merge template. And even here, you can create it from scratch. And if you have an existing PDF, you can use it and create the merge template. So imagine you have the data, tons and tons of data in Zoho sheet. And imagine if you are entering everything manually for each and every client, it will take so much of time and effort. To avoid that, we have this merge template. And when you create this merge template, you'll be asked to connect the data source. And in our case, I have chosen the sheet which has been generated from the fillable template. Once you add the data source, all the fields available in the document will get listed over here. Fields in the sense the title of the rows will get listed as fields here. And depending upon your requirement, you can position each and every field in the document. So once you position everything, your document is ready. And when you click this preview option, you can see the documents generated for each and every user. We can list this by client name. So I have 5 clients, and for each client I have created the document with no further delay or with no much time. So, but our requirement is simple, which is like you have to initiate this merge or start this merge whenever a new record or row is added here. So imagine we have a user filling this form, and once he fills the form, you'll get a new row here. And we have to avoid manual intervention. So for that, we are going to use custom function. For creating custom function, you have this tools option in Zoho Sheet and go to custom function. I have already created a custom function for this case, and I'm going to manage custom function here, and clicking on edit will give you the custom function. It's taking some time to load. Yes, so this is the custom function which has been created for this particular use case. And once the custom function is ready, we're going to use it for macros. Again, I have already created a macro for this case. I have a specific help article which explains how this custom function can be imposed in the document and how macros can be used for initiating merge for each and every change. Even it's not only for a new row, even if there is a change in a specific cell, this merge can be initiated. So we have a dedicated help article which explains from scratch about this custom function and macros, and you can expect the help article in the Q&A tab. So apart from that, once the documentation is ready, you have plenty of options like sending it via email or else sending it for sign collection. So if you have a witness over here, you can use this merge and send for sign collection option, and you can include the witness email address. A minute, it is taking a little time to load. And once you select this output settings, the final document will be either saved as a document in your Zoho work drive, or else it can be sent to email, or else you can send it for a sign collection. So this is how the merge template will work, and this is how we can achieve a complete automation of creating merge template and merge output using custom function. So let's now dive into the next session.
Great. Thank you so much for that demo, Sam. So now that we have seen how estate documents like wills and POAs can be generated automatically, so let's take a look at the next important part of this workflow, which is legal disclosures. So every estate planning firms need to attach different disclosure pages depending on their client's location, the type of document, or even whether the signing is done electronically. Many firms maintain a single reference PDF that contains all these disclosures, but the very challenge is that not every client needs every page. Let's take, for example, out of state clients may only need general disclaimers or privacy policies, while some other clients in California may require an additional state-specific notice. Similarly, if a document is not signed electronically, a notary instruction page may need to be added. So, Sam, is it actually possible to pull only a specific page from a PDF and automatically append them to a client's will or trust?
Absolutely, Sini. So that is what we are going to do and show it now. Zoho Writer's advanced PDF automation makes this process completely seamless. You can store a single disclosure PDF in OneDrive, and when a new will or trust is generated, Writer can identify the client's state, signing preference, or any other condition and pull just the pages you need. For example, Let me show it here. So here you can see in our data source we have state of users, Texas, California, and others. So if the client is out of state, we need a disclosure. Let me show the disclosure as well. So we have a disclosure here which has 4 pages. So here you can see we have a disclosure which consists of 4 pages, and depending upon the state and the choice of their signature, we can delete any specific page. So in this case, I'm going to show 2 different cases. One is deleting pages from an existing PDF and then combining the PDF with the existing merged document. And second, I'll also show how to insert if you have an existing PDF in the merged output. So the first case is I'm going to delete the unwanted pages in a PDF, and then I'm going to insert the same to the merged document. So this is how the advanced merge will look like. This is an automation builder which can be chosen from here. The same merge template is used here. I'm going to use this advanced merge, which will open the advanced automation builder. So once the advanced automation builder is open, I'm going to use these 2 options. One is actions and second one is logic. Logic is where you can apply condition, and action is something like it will work based upon the logic. So we have the merged document saved here, and then I'm going to use filter files option. So my case is I'm going to filter files based upon the state and the signature status. So here we have the state and I have also the signature status. I'm going to filter the records based upon these. So for applying filter, I have configured rules. State is equal to California and signature is equal to eSign. I have 2 options and the probabilities will be 4. So I have used 4 conditions here. And depending upon the condition, the merged documents will get filtered. So now we have the filtered output here. And in this combine files option, we are going to combine the PDFs. So next step will be converting the filtered files to PDF. So for that I have used convert document card, which can be selected from here. You can just search for convert. You have this card. You can just click this, drag and drop here, it will get displayed. So this card will be helpful for converting the document, the ZDoc file, into any specific format, and in our case I'm going to choose a PDF. So I'm using cards for this, and now in the particular place we get the converted PDF file. Now the next step will be deleting the existing disclosure. So I have a disclosure here with 4 pages, and depending upon the condition, so if the user is not from California, I have to remove this page 3. For that I have used delete page PDF card, and using this card I have used a condition, and the logic is like if there is a condition where the user is not from California, I have to remove the specific page. So I have used it and I have deleted the unwanted pages. In a specific case I have removed 4th page, in other case I have removed third and 4th page, and in one specific case I have removed 3rd page. Now once this is done, we have deleted PDF files, which means the removed PDF files. So after that we are going to use the combine files option, which is very simple. We are going to combine 2 files. One is the merged PDF file and second one is the trimmed PDF file. We are combining it and we are sending it as email, as well as it will get stored in work drive. So this is how it will work. Let me show how it has been finally collected in our case. So the final document will look like this. So let's move on to the next case. I'll then show it once it is loaded. The second case is inserting the PDF files. So if you have existing PDF files, if you have multiple PDF files, and if your requirement is to insert it into any one of the specific page of the merged document. Say for example, you have 100 pages of a document, and if you want to include the disclosure in the 50th page, that is also possible by using insert PDF page option. So the first case, the first few cards are same. We are merging the document, we are filtering the document based upon the condition, and then we are converting the document to PDF. Now we are going to insert the PDF in specific page. So in my case, I am inserting the PDF before the first page. So this disclosure will be in the initial page, and after that I'll have the merged document. So by this way, you can achieve inserting PDF pages, PDF files into existing merged documents. And so we have this final will here. You can see the will of John A. Thompson. So John A. Thompson belongs to a state apart from California. So in this case, we have to remove page number 3. It's here. So in the final will, I have included the disclosure and I have removed page number 3. For the easy identification, I have included page numbers here, which can be removed if it is not necessary. So for our identification, I have used page numbers here. So you can see it clearly that we have removed page number for a specific user. And this is how advanced merge will work, and which can be utilized for complete automation of creating merged documents and also including disclosure.
Great. Thank you so much for such a detailed explanation on how best we can go ahead and remove the pages that is not necessary based on the document that we are sharing or sending it with our clients. So now let's see how the firms regularly create documents like say SOPs or compliance guidelines or firm-wide process documents. So these requires inputs from multiple assistants or sometimes even external legal consultants. So during this collaboration, different contributors make edits, leave comments, and refine sections together. And once the draft is ready, it needs to go through a formal approval process before it becomes an official document. So can you show us how best this can be done with writers?
Yes, Srini. Writer is built for this kind of collaboration. Multiple attorneys can work on the same SOP at the same time, using track changes, comments, and version history to keep everything transparent. Once the drafting stage is complete, we can initiate a review and approval workflow where the primary attorney reviews the draft and the senior partner gives the final sign-off. This ensures that only approved compliant version get published or shared across the firm. And since everything happens within Writer, you don't have to manage multiple versions or email threads. So let me show a quick demo about this. Here we have the document which needs to be distributed and collaborated with the internal members. So this is how the document will look like, which includes multiple page layouts. Everything is possible by using Zoho Writer. You can have any kind of layout in any page, and also you can include a header, footer, text boxes, watermarks, and everything. So you have the document ready, and using this share option, you can add the collaborators and you can provide access level, either edit or share. Now the document is shared. So in this test case, I have included an additional email of mine as a collaborator. So the user will get notified and he'll get the data under the shared with me section. So here is the document, and the user will be able to edit the document. Now the interesting point is we need to have a control over the document. Like if you don't want them to edit, you can just turn off this collaboration option. So initially the user will be able to edit it and he'll get notified. But now the user wants to pause the collaboration. So this option will pause the collaboration and restrict the collaborator from editing. So he'll not be able to edit the document anymore. And along with that, we also have this track changes option, which will give you a complete follow of what has been added, and the owner of the file will have a control over the document whether it needs to be accepted or rejected. If the user doesn't want to have this content, he can directly reject it. So by this way, you can have a control over the document, and also we can add comment over the document, and you can convey the information to the user so that he'll be able to follow the steps. And if you're not okay with the present version, you can move to any version anytime, and you can restore the version. So once the document is ready after collaboration, it's time for review and approval. We have this assign workflow option available here, and I'm going to set the review and approval. And enter the email address. You can also add a comment or instruction. You can also set the due date. So based upon the due date, the user will get notification. Now we can send it for review. Once it is assigned, you cannot make any changes in the document, and the users will get notified based upon the role, either the reviewer or the approver. He'll get notified. So once the review is over, the approver will get notified. So I'm sending it for review. The user will get notified here. He'll get the list here in the workflow, and once the review is over, he'll be able to submit the review process, and it will move to the approver, and the approver will be finalizing the document. So by this way, you can achieve a complete workflow inside the organization and make sure that the document is error-free and it is compliant to the legal firms. And this is what a quick demo about workflow is.
That is great. Thank you so much, Sam. So now that all the estate documents have been finalized and approved, so we need to know the next step for any estate planning firm, which is billing the client for service being provided. So traditionally, this involves manually drafting invoices, calculating fees, and preparing PDFs, which takes time and increases the possibility of errors. But with Zoho Writer, the entire invoicing process becomes automated. Because on the client's engagement type, whether it's a full estate plan, will drafting, trust formation, or POA preparation, the system can pull all the required details directly from the intake sheet. So which feels like consultation charges, or while drafting fees, or trust setup fees, notary charges can be of anyone. All these are automatically populated into the invoice template without any manual entry. And Writer can even calculate subtotals, taxes, and the final payable amount using formulas built into the document. Once the invoice is generated, which can be saved as a PDF or sent to the client instantly, and they receive it with a secured way like OTP protected document sharing. So, Sam, can this entire workflow from pulling data to sending the final bill really be handled end-to-end inside Zoho Writer?
Yes, Any. Writer's merge automation makes billing extremely efficient. We'll take the engagement details from the sheet, merge them into the invoice template, let Writer calculate all these totals automatically, and finally send the invoices as a secure PDF to the client. Let me walk you through the final demo of today's session, which is the generation of invoice. So we have the data in Zoho sheet with all the fee details starting from billing draft, trust formation, healthcare, and everything. So we have all the details of the billing to be added. So this will be the data source for our invoice generation. So as mentioned earlier, again, we are going to create a merge template. Again, we are going to use Zoho sheet as the data source. Once you add the data source here, all the details will get listed here as the fields, and based upon your requirement, you can include the fields here. So in this specific case, I have used document sequence number for invoice number. So you can generate document sequence number depending upon your authorizations requirement. And then I have used table for calculating or listing all the fee details. And an additional information here is I have used formula here to calculate the sum of all the values. And I have again used a formula to calculate the percentage. Then finally one more formula to calculate the sum of subtotal and tax. Now I have the detail here. I have used table reference. Table reference referencing the final value to showcase here, which is the total amount due. I have also used now you can see the preview merge option. So once you click the preview merge, let me show you an interesting functionality here. For Emma, you can see the billing draft fee is 450, but for the other user, the billing draft fee is not listed. So it is not necessary to list a value which has 0 in it. So for that I have used row condition. Let me show how this is achieved in Zoho Writer. So in this table, I have used row condition, which will show the value only if it is greater than 0. So by using this, we have achieved hiding or showing a specific row. If the value is 0, we'll not be showing it or listing it in the final invoice. So by this way, we can include formulas, conditions and everything to make sure that the invoice is completely in our control. And finally, you can send it as a mail to the end user. So this is all about generating invoice using merge templates.
Right. Thank you so much for showing us on how the invoice generation can be done. So now let's look at the benefits of using Zoho Writer. So when you put all these workflows together, the benefits of an estate planning firm becomes very clear. Zoho Writer dramatically speeds up the creation of wills, trusts, POAs, and other estate documents because everything is driven by structured data and reusable templates. So your documents stay consistent and error-free. And thanks to dynamic merge fields that pull the right information into the right sections automatically. Legal disclosures are also automated here, so you never have to manually copy or attach the right pages again. Every document flows a standardized, professionally and formatted structure way, whether it's a will, a trust, or an invoice. On top of that, Writer ensures secure storage and compliance through work drive approval workflows and audit trials. And throughout the process, attorneys and partners can collaborate seamlessly using comments, track changes, and version histories. So all of this helps estate planning teams work faster, stay compliant, and deliver a more professional experience to their clients.
Yes, Sini. So before we wrap up today's session, let's take a quick look at what's cooking inside Zoho Writer, features that are currently in development and are designed to make estate planning workflows even more streamlined and powerful. The first one is payment links inside merge documents. This will be especially useful for estate planning firms that need to collect non-invoice payments such as advanced retainers, rush processing fees, and so on. So with this engagement, you'll be able to insert a personalized payment link directly inside a merged document. For example, inside an engagement letter or service confirmation. Clients will receive the document and make the payment instantly without logging into any additional portal. Next, we are introducing the choose Zoho Sign service during merge output. This means that as soon as a will, trust, or POA is generated, Writer can automatically send it to DocuSign or DigiSign for signature. No extra setup or exporting is needed. This is particularly valuable for estate planners who handle multiple signing tools based on client preference or jurisdictional requirements. And finally, one of the most anticipated additions, the desktop PDF editor. This feature will let you open PDFs offline and make quick modifications like adding text, inserting shapes, highlighting clauses, or placing sticky notes for internal review. It's perfect for teams who receive scanned documents or legacy files that need minor edits before they are merged or archived. These upcoming enhancements continue to push Writer beyond document drafting, turning it into a comprehensive ecosystem for creation, automation, collaboration, and execution across estate planning workflows.
Let me quickly walk you through what we have covered today. So we have covered a lot of ground, and hopefully this gave you a clear picture of Zoho Writer that can truly streamline estate planning workflows end to end. So we began by looking at the core documents estate planning firms that rely on wills, trust, power of attorney, healthcare directives, beneficiary forms, and compliance notices, and how Writer helps standardize and manages these efficiently. Then we also explored client intake and onboarding, where Writer's fillable forms make it easy to capture detailed client information from family structure and guardianship wishes to assets and liabilities, and store everything neatly in a sheet for downstream use. From there, we saw how that same data can automatically generate complete estate planning documents like wills, trusts, and POAs using merge templates, with the entire process triggered the moment a new record is added. We also looked at how Writer can intelligently pull the right pages from a reference PDF to add state-specific or situational legal disclosures, ensuring each client receives a compliant final document without extra manual work. Next, we also reviewed how internal SOPs or draft documents can move through collaborative review and approval workflows using comments, track changes, and multi-level approvals to maintain quality and legal accuracy. We then saw how invoices can be generated automatically based on client engagement details, with all fees, drafting, or notary filling and more populated directly from Zoho Sheet data. And finally, we looked at what's coming soon, including the payments link inside merged document, automatic e-sign service selection, and a desktop PDF editor that gives you a full markup control offline. So thank you so much for this wonderful interactive sessions, and thank you so much, Sam, for all the insights, and Vadivel for answering all the questions. So once again, thank you all for joining us today, and we hope to see you in the upcoming session. Thank you all. Stay safe.